very, 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 very. How many berries is that?
I know.
Very, 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 very special guest today. I am here with the one and only Mr. Vito the Barber. So, man, it's so much deeper than rap. I'm honestly trying not to be too emotional about it because it's really that deep for me. But this is a lot more than my barber here. This is one of those types of people that help to bring the best out of you, and he has believed in me since middle school rap, little rap job.
Yeah,
we talking about 12, 30, maybe.
Yeah,
20 plus? Almost.
He was a young jet. He was a jet.
20 plus years in the making. So now, if I'm out of town, I can't go see another barber, I can't, I'm gonna just have to grow the afro till I get back home. That's how it is. But even more so than that, this is a man from part of the story that I know came from a lot of nothing to making a lot of something out of himself, that I have listened to in a lot of a mentorship type space to help me really get to where I'm at now, even more than just words. So can get right into it. I'm going to start the cut. The reason that he's here today, I have a changed schedule Sunday and Monday where I'm off, and he is also off on Sunday and Monday, so that tells you how tight the niche is for him to be here right now. So definitely want to make sure you know how much I appreciate you and being here, not only for the cut on the off day, but for the show itself. So yeah, definitely want to get right into it.
And you really need a haircut, bro.
I do need a haircut.
Really,
What's
I kind of feel bad. You know what I'm saying? So this boy did this. I was like, man, I gotta go do it, man. I gotta bring my buddy back to speed.
I can't wait for y'all to actually see the difference to what we're talking about here. From whatever this is to the finished product, y'all gonna really see a master at work while we doing this. But man, so tell them a little bit about yourself, where you coming from.
Well, first of all, I'm Brandon Carter Vito the Barber. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Bars.
Came to Georgia 25 years ago, exactly. Trying to find my way. Trying to, I guess, figure out what's the steps in life and trial and error, and to find myself where I'm at today, and to continue grinding. So,
you're from Indiana.
Indiana, Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne specifically.
Specifically.
Is that a real nice place to live?
Some would say, some would say not. So, at the end of the day, it's cool. Like I said, it gave me the tools I needed to survive here.
For sure.
So it has its pros and cons, just like any other city. You got the good, you got the bad, but like I say, it's definitely it's home. It's pretty cool.
And then I'm gonna need a little bit of help to see if we can be heard with the Clippers. try to make sure that the mic placement was decent for today. Oh, like we were saying here, you from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Born and raised, man. Born and raised. Fort Wayne, Indiana.
And you was there till you came down here.
Yeah. I mean, I drained off a couple little places, you know. Lived in Seattle, Washington for a little while. About 16 years old, but for the most part, Fort Wayne until I left there in 2000.
To be here.
To be here. October 2000. So this October made exactly 25 years I've been here.
So, if you could give me a little picture of how Indiana was for you, how you you know, what you really felt like you would be doing as you were growing up, how it kind of shaped you.
I guess growing up, you know what I'm saying, we had like a really close neighborhood experience, you know. Friends, family, you know, we had that bond. We had, you know, friends from kindergarten all the way up to high school. Like, you know, everybody knew each other. So we had that, you know, neighborhood, family structure. But we also had, you know, we was like hustlers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just always made a way to, I guess, just make things happen. You know, growing up at that era, you know, summertime, you cutting grass. Fall, you raking leaves. Winter, you shoveling snow. You know what I mean? You had all types of things where we was always trying to, for me, we always try to make a way for ourselves. You know what I mean? We knew the struggles for our parents. You know what I mean? We knew, you know, a lot of other things that we wanted was kind of out of their budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So growing up with the friends that I had, we always tried to come together to try to, you know what I'm saying, figure out ways to, I guess, grind to get the extra things that we knew we wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where the hustle mentality.
At the teenage point, you know you had to get out and go get it to get some shoes you wanted. Get some clothes you wanted.
My shoes or clothes might be in a layaway way longer than I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? The season didn't pass by the time you get it out. Like, it's too hot. It's too hot. Okay, where it is. But it's been a layaway for the last 6. You know what I'm saying? It's things that we had to go through. You know? So a lot of my friends were, like I said, we was always trying to find a way to get it for ourselves. And sometimes it's not always the best way. But like I say, it's part of my journey, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And a lot of things that I've seen and done in that small city, Fort Wayne, I don't think I would change anything. Because if I'd have changed anything, it could have changed the path of who I am and where I am today. You see what I'm saying? So even in the bad, good, and the ugly, you know, I felt like it was always a lesson. There's always something to be learned, you know. And a lot of friends and people I grew up with, sometimes they didn't get a second chance for a lesson, you know what I mean? So
that's a PG way to put it.
Yeah, you know, they didn't get a chance for them to, you know, to learn the knowledge of, you know, wrong, right, do and don't.
But that's also part of what helps you mature from those spaces, because you see what it results in sometimes.
Oh, definitely. You know, and it's wild that you say where I come from, because a lot of my thought process and the things how I looked at life, man, I see it so different today. So something I might have said 10 years ago, I definitely will be contradicting myself today.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would definitely be You know, I'm the old head now. I'm this and that, you know what I mean? But just moving to Atlanta, getting to the barber field, just getting out of the environment. You know, Fort Wayne was wonderful, you know what I mean? For what it offered me at that time of life, but I felt like when I left, there was nothing else it could offer me, you know what I mean? I felt like it had gave me everything I needed to, you know.
Up to that point.
Up to that point, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing it at the time, I just knew I felt I needed something different, you know. And I think once I moved to Seattle, Washington, that's where the light bulb came on, you know what I'm saying? I was on there probably like a year, but it was for me to try to get myself together because I was out there running Fort Wayne streets, kind of recklessly, you know what I mean? Ain't no kind of reckless, you know, and not truly understanding the value, life, you know, family. You just feel like you're doing what's necessary at the time. You know? So once I moved to Seattle, came back to Indiana, I realized, man, there's actually more to life than what I thought life, you know what I'm saying, was gonna be for the rest of my life.
So give me a little details. Paint the picture a little bit if you can. What did you see in Seattle that was different from Fort Wayne that kind of opened your eyes?
Just the landscaping, the buildings, the water, the market, the people. You know what I mean? I seen a whole different group of people. You know, like growing up, you know, we had jokes of, you know, you African, you Ethiopian, you know, we had the bad picture of what it looked like, so that was part of our jokes. But then when I moved to Seattle, I seen Ethiopians and Samoans, and I never seen, you know what I'm saying?
In real life.
In real life.
Culture, diversity.
And to see how beautiful, how we was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this ain't true. Like, these people, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. So coming from Indiana, that's really because I never really ventured outside of Indiana. You know, I went to Chicago, you know, surrounding cities, Indianapolis, but it's still
stuff that kind of looked the same.
Stuff that looked the same. And to see some of the things we saw on TV, or see some of the things that was on TV to be false. No, that's not how this is, you know. And then to see people move, you know, differently. To move different as far as, you know, the way they were, I guess, taking care of themselves and the mindset. You know, and to be around a whole different group of people that I didn't know anyone. You know, and I'm into a city that I'm new. I don't know.
Is he still coming in low? So basically, coming up in Fort Wayne, did you have sisters and brothers, your mom, your dad, who?
I had an older brother. He was my role model, bro. He was dad, you know. I didn't have a father growing up, you know. I didn't know him. Had one, but just didn't know, you know, who he was. You know, I didn't learn about him until later on in life. I was already an adult when I found out who he was, you know. So I grew up in a single parent home, raised up by my grandmother, help of my aunties, you know what I'm saying, and my mom. You know, later on down in life, when I was 18, my mother had my little sister. So by that time, you know, I'm grown out of the house pretty much. So that was something different.
So pretty much you, your brother, and your mom.
And my mom for a very long time. You know, and then it's like me, my brother, and I got a cousin. We were the only men.
And the whole family.
Everybody else were women. I had an uncle. I have an uncle. He actually lived down here too. He moved down here way before I did. When he got out of college, he came down here. So I had family down here, which kind of pushed me towards coming down to Georgia. I should visit in the summertime when I was younger all the time. Didn't like it though. I just like, man, I don't like Georgia. It's cool. I used to always mess up my white gym shoes with that red clay mud and running through the apartments and doing whatever. But I said, I don't like this because it didn't have the feel of Indiana, the neighborhood, the alleys, the corners. It took so much to get somewhere.
It's a lot different than
it was a lot different. So,
yeah.
But once I became an adult, 21, and I seen Buckhead.
The real.
Oh my goodness, it was a change now. Now I'm like, you know what, this place ain't that bad.
Yeah.
But then I also seen us, blacks, doing well.
Yeah.
Driving businesses. So, you know, everything that Atlanta, you know, a lot of times back then they spoke about, you know, how we were thriving, how we were doing wonderful things here. But like I said, I was still too young to quite grab it all, though, you know. It took some of those, you know, trial and errors. It took some of those sleeping in your car, not really having nowhere to go, pockets touching, no money, you know.
This is after you came here or before?
This was after I came here. See, when I was in Indiana, man, it's super comfortable. It has its tough moments, but it's comfortable because you have all your family.
Because
you're surrounded
by everybody.
Aunties, cousins, friends. Like it's like I said, it's still that community type feel. Down here, oh no.
It was
it's
just
every
you.
man for himself in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all the love and any connections that you make, it's actually through people you don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me to meet this guy, all of a sudden he offered me an opportunity. I don't even know you. Hey bro, come over here. Hey, I know somebody can do this. It's like making pathway or digging, you know what I'm saying? Like at home, I got the map already in the sense of who I need to go see and talk to try to get things that I need. Now it's like I'm creating a whole new path of unfamiliar, you know, surroundings and people. So now the skills or the understanding of life that I learned from Indiana kind of have my antennas up and, you know, choosing to, you know, take the help of this person or leaving it on the table. Like, nah, something don't feel right about this, but I'm gonna pass that up, you know. But it had me look at life, like I said, different because, like I say, I'm getting helped by all type of people, not just black people. I mean, Koreans, you know, just all nationalities. Everybody was just in this melting pot here to try to make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might have something he needs, he got something I need. So we actually, everybody just out here trying to make it.
My mom said, Vito!
Oh, what up, Ma? What up, Ma?
So, trying to paint the picture here, you from Fort Wayne. Got your mom, your brother, pretty much everybody else, aunties.
Granny.
And Granny.
Granny was like mom's though. I ain't gonna lie.
Granny was really like.
I was a grandma's boy. I ain't a mama's boy. I'm a grandma's boy.
I got you.
Yeah, grandma get on my nerves. I'm running to my mama's house. Mama get on my nerves. I'm going to grandma's house. They was playing tennis with me. They was hitting my ass back and forth. You know, but if it wasn't for those two, man, I don't know. I mean, it's been so many things that I almost got into. Cause I had some friends that got into a lot of rough things. My grandma would sit right on my shoulder and say, boy, you better not do that. And I'm like, y'all, I gotta go home. Hey, if it wasn't for grandma, bro, I'd have been in trouble, man. Like, I just knew if I get caught doing this, man, it's gonna kill her. Mom, I can deal with her real good. Grandma, oh no, I couldn't let her down. So if it wasn't for grandma, bro, shit.
Shout out to the village.
Hey, man.
So,
man,
pretty much, coming up, brother, that's the role model of how to be a man. And then you go to Seattle to kind of see things in a new light. Where did barbering come in? When did that happen to where you like, oh, I'm pretty good at this, or I could probably start doing this.
you know what? I've been cutting hair since middle school. But like I said, my brother was my role model, so everything he did, I want to do. So he was the one who was cutting hair first. So, you know, my grandmother, once again, grandma, my brother lived with her for a while. You know, when we not staying with mama, we at grandma's house. But grandma, you know, my brother used to have his friends come through, get their hair cut in the basement, you know what I mean? And he just like, any and everything he did, he was part of a dance group. I wanted to be a dancer. I just didn't have no rhythm. So, that was short-lived. And then when he had a little dance group, you know how back in the day, grandma like, yo, you better take him with you. If you can't go with you, then he was pissed. Man, get your own friends. These my friends too. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that
What's the age difference?
we 3.5. It seemed like he was so much older than me, but in 3.5 years when you in middle school or elementary school and he in middle school, that gap just made it seem like they were just so grown.
Yeah.
You know, but they wasn't. So my brother was cutting hair first, and then I'm gonna tell you the story. The first time I ever picked up a pair of clippers, I had a friend named Emmett. Emmett tore his head up. He had to. He was at home doing something, and he came over to, you know, hang out, but he didn't want to take his hat off. And when he finally took his hat off, I said, it's like a Friday movie, like, damn, who did that? And he was sad, bro. But I told him, I said, you know, I can fix it. At this time, I couldn't do no worse. So I could fix it. And he was like, all right. So I took my brother clippers, you know what I'm saying? Because he had them in the basement. Got my brother clippers, and I actually did a good job. Like, I brought him back. Now, if I would see it today's time, I was like, no, he's still jacked up. But at that time,
for the first time,
I brought him back. He was so happy, bro. A couple weeks later, he came back.
For you to do it again.
And then after that, he brought his cousin.
Crazy.
You know, so now it's like that ball.
Yeah.
Where people want you to do something with you don't even know if you're good or not, but you keep coming back.
It's in demand.
It's in demand. But the problem was, I didn't have my own clippers. I'm taking my brother's stuff. So now when he get home to do his job, guess who got his clippers? Me. Man, bro, when I say I got the ass whooping, the cussing out, everything. He was, man, leave my stuff alone. Leave my don't touch my stuff. So I'm like, man, whatever. I'm still gonna take them when you ain't looking. That's what it was. So eventually, I had a mentor, Foundation, my man from the career. He gave me some clippers because he heard, you know,
what was going on?
not really what's going on, but just somewhat, yeah, you know, conversation. Because he used to cut my hair too sometimes. My brother didn't feel like doing. So, cause my brother, he's one of the barbers that if he don't feel like it, you ain't get no haircut. You know what I'm saying? He gotta be in the mood. Unless it's his buddies and they going somewhere he's doing it too. But me, is when he felt like it. You know, so. But he gave me a setup, you know, gave me some faders, some liners, you know, and then I started, you know, I guess taking a little more time, taking more pride into it, buying my own stuff. And then, once again, the life of Fort Wayne, you know, I get into the street a little bit because there wasn't no money being made over here, you know what I mean? I was kind of doing it just to make a couple dollars to go to all night skating or whatever little local YMCA parties, you know. Hey, so eventually I'm like, all right, give me $3, give me $4. I'm just trying to make something.
Yeah.
Just so I get into the all-nighters and things like that. So that's how I kind of started. That's how I kind of started. But then I got, you know, hanging with my buddies, got into the streets a little bit. So I quit. I just stopped cutting because I just like, I ain't got time for it. I'm doing other things. But the people that I was cutting, they kept, you know, calling me, hey man, cut my hair, man, please, bro. I went to the barbershop, and they messed me up. I thought it was impossible to get messed up at the barbershop. Man, I went to the barbershop, man, and dude messed me up. And I'm like, what?
But they professionals.
Yeah, like, I didn't mess you up, but you want me to cut it, but yeah. So I said, well, how much you charge me? He said, man, you charge me $15. I said, well, give me 10. So now my price went from 3 to 5
to $10.
$10.
Yeah.
And it was willing to pay. So I'm like, shoot, I might not be that bad. So now I started taking it a little more serious.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like I'm making, you know what I'm saying, progress.
Yeah.
I can do this with $10 a cut because now, you know, I can see that. Because back then, they weren't even paying $10 an hour. At some of these little small, now mind you, I'm still only 17, 18 years old at this time. We're up and cut here through middle school, high school. My friends here, my friend's dad here. Eventually, I started cutting people I didn't even know. Like, a buddy of mine turned on his lawyer. His lawyer's like, "No, cut your hair." He's like, "Man, my buddy did." So guess what? I get a call from this lawyer saying, "Hey, how you doing? I got your number from such and such."
And all these people come in the grandma's basement?
Hold on, that's another story. So some days depending on grandma, because grandma sometimes she in the mood for it, she ain't in the mood for it.
And don't be having all these people at
Don't
my
be
house.
having all these people in my house. So I ended up, you know, my grandma go to work at 4:30. She leave, gets on the city bus, and she, you know, we'll sneak out the house and kind of look down the street, see if we can see her get on the bus. And she'll be sitting on this tree that's out on the corner. She'll lean on this tree until the bus comes. The bus comes, she get on it, go down to the block, she'll turn right, and then when she turned right, I had a buddy that lived on the corner too. So we all watching grandma get out of sight. So we can have that party because we live with grandma. When grandma go home, we got she like, look, don't have nobody at my house. Don't be doing this, don't be doing that, you know. And we like, okay, but as soon as grandma gone,
Coast is clear.
oh,
let's get it.
We finna get it. So we have all the neighborhood get together. My brother cutting here on one corner, I'm cutting on the other corner. We just going on. We got a full-fledged barbershop / hangout, you know, at grandma's house.
So I know I had told you at the time, but my mom wants to make sure you reminded. I don't know if I had like a specific blend where my hair kind of started from. That was a little bit different, but a lot of people couldn't really figure it out. But she was saying, yeah, everyone was messing up my hair until we found you, and she wanted to remind you that me on my wave routine combined with your skills had me. I think it was nominated for best hair.
So you was 360 G's before 360 G's.
360.
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah, he was like 365. You went a little bit further.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. That was probably the only thing I really cared about. It was the only thing I knew I had for sure.
But the craziest thing is, I met you through a friend that moved down here that was from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's wild how things, you know, connect.
Yeah.
You know, they connect. And like I say, we've been locked in, man. We've been locked in for a long time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Everything meant the way that it should be.
Yeah.
So
the people that are here now, the ones supposed to be here now. The ones that ain't, they're not. Don't mean they might not come back in another season. Or maybe never at all. But like I said, while we're here, let's do our best. You know what I mean? Do our best.
So you kind of sneaking people in when getting people in when she feel like it, sneaking people in when she don't feel like it, doing a little $10 cuts.
$10 cuts.
In grandma's basement.
Now, there's been times that folks in Camp Strike did a good job. There's been times when people would come and she would cuss both of us out. She didn't care who it was. The lawyer, this ain't no barbershop. You take your barbershop. I'm like, Grandma, come on. Now, I try to
get a little money. Grandma, try to hustle a little bit.
Look, so I try to use that, what you call it.
Would you rather me be out in these streets?
Exactly. That was the conversation. I said, Mom, I could be doing something positive. I couldn't hear. I could be in these streets. She said, I don't give what you do.
Dang, she ain't even
Just
care.
don't do it here.
Dang.
So she cut through all the manipulation I tried. Because now that I'm a homeowner, I get it. To have just random people you don't know
coming in and
out of your home. Even though
Yeah.
you know you're trying to do something positive.
You just never know what they really looking at.
You don't never know what it is.
Yeah.
Until you become, like I said, a homeowner, or once you get to a certain age, to understand, like, no, She done seen enough to know like people can get you in trouble.
Yep.
A lot of things can happen, you know, that can jeopardize, you know. So just her being cautious, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, I guess we ain't going too deep, but, you know, you think it was because of the people she knew that you kind of ran with, or?
I think she was skeptical about everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. It's like, them your friends, but them are not my friends.
Right.
You might know them, but I don't know them. And
Yep.
you're bringing them into my home.
Yep.
And we hear a lot of things because a lot of people that, cause my grandma, this is her favorite line, you ain't got no friends. I'm no friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, grandma, she was tripping. But a lot of it is true. A lot of people that you come in contact with, they're not all gonna be your friends.
Yeah.
They disguise in a friend mask, but you know, if you think about now, a lot of those people that you call friends, where are they today?
Yeah.
You know, they're no longer around. And they might have been a friend for a moment because of what maybe you was offering them. You know what I'm saying? What comfort, you know, being comfortable being around you, which is like, oh, he's a cool dude, he has this and that. Or let me see what I can get off of, you know. But then I also know there were true friends too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People that really got your back
Really got your back.
stick
You can't just, oh, there's no friends. No, that's, I mean, it can easily change within seconds due to an action. But for the most part, you know, I believe in friends because I know I'm a friend. You see what I'm saying? So I can't just say, oh, I'm the only friend in the world. No. I know I can be a friend to you. I know my morals, my values, my principles, and I don't, you know, steer too far off of them, regardless of, you know.
But you also look at your discernment of who deserves it.
Yeah, who deserves it, man? Because not everybody deserves it. Not everybody deserves your peace. You know what I'm saying? Your presence. You know, but you gotta see it, watch it, you know how to bag off of it.
Exactly, because, you know, if you got the right barber, you know, he'll give you the sauce that, you know, maybe dad won't give you sometimes. Maybe all the proper mentors won't give you sometimes about, you know,
I think
financials, women, everything that's talked about that in a barbershop type setting that might not be super normal conversation at home. So based on, and I'm just saying that to say how much deeper than just the barbering it goes. But now, how do we go from, all right, we doing the cuts in grandma's basement to now it's time to move to Atlanta?
I put down the Clippers. When I moved to Atlanta, you know, I still had a hustler's mentality. You know, I still had, I ain't gonna lie, I had dope boy ambitions. I had street ambitions because I felt like that was the only way to achieve.
And don't be scared to give them the details, man. This ain't, you know, you ain't gonna go hit, you know.
Okay, so
they ain't gonna reopen.
Limitation. I can't get in trouble.
They ain't gonna reopen no cases, man. We good. Ain't nobody watching this, bro.
Until they watching it.
That's gonna be episodes later. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be years later. Ain't nobody gonna be worried. You know, we all good.
No,
but I'm more so saying it's really all part of your testimony.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like he trying to keep it light, but it was not light. So he, you know, could have easily went left when it really went right.
Right. And some of the things that went left forced me to go right.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it happened, and not everything I say, man, I wish this didn't happen, but by that happening, it forced me to do this. So everything started to play a part. You know, the puzzles are starting to
It all starts
there. Like when you start close, sometimes certain pieces you're trying to force it in, it just ain't working. You gotta go back and find the right piece.
Somebody was praying for you.
Oh man.
Somebody was praying for you.
Hey, my mama, my grandma, I said they must did some good in life, man. Cause it's a lot of things that I just slipped through.
Yeah.
You know. But I wasn't a bad person, though. Like some people just out for bad. I wasn't bad. I just, you know, I just did me. But sometimes I never had bad intentions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even if I did something that I knew wasn't right, it ultimately wasn't bad towards hurting anyone, you know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I get into the midst of it if I feel like trouble was coming this way.
Yeah.
I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta take care of me. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna look for trouble, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tuck my tail or, you know, I gotta face whatever it is out here as a man. But now, knowing what I know, shoot, I'm a legit tax paying. I don't jaywalk, I don't litter. Listen, because I don't know nothing, because I appreciate my surroundings. So I can try to walk as light as possible.
The peace that you got now, right? Because the same thing you was talking about with like the 10-year contradiction, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 16-year-old you saying ain't I don't care who it is, ain't nobody finna step to me crazy.
Nobody.
Compared to now, you're like, man, you on some foolishness.
Hey man, hey, go that way.
Ain't even entertaining.
Matter of fact, I'm finna leave. I'm about to leave. You know what I'm saying? Let me let you have this because I'm at a place where I can leave a room. You know what I'm saying? I'm not forced to stay here. I create space so I can always have an exit. You know what I'm saying? Some people feel like they're forced to be in a room because they're still trying to, you know, achieve what they need. Now I try to create space so I can always exit.
Still looking for validation from being that macho kid, that macho man,
Let me tell you something. I got shot when I was 16 years old, bro. And if I think about, man, 16 years old, and sometimes when I see 16-year-olds or kids come to the shop, I'm like, man, it was 10:30 at night. I'm hanging out with the homies on the block. I supposed to be in that bed, getting ready for school. But I'm so I'm hanging out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying, at 10:30 at night. Like, bro, what is going on? I'm not saying that my mom was a bad parent, but I was just, I was kind of hard to handle, but I think sometimes that's where the lack of dad being in the house. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we take on these wrong roads, but life was different back then too.
Yeah.
But still, knowing what I know now, I should have been at home.
Yeah.
I supposed to be studying. I supposed to be doing something. I'm on the block doing, shit I ain't got no business doing. You know? And like I said, God spared me. I'm still here. You know? And I've seen enough to be like, man, a lot of this stuff what these young dudes feel like they have to do is not even necessary.
Yeah.
So that's why now when I'm behind this chair, I'll never, glorify anything of that nature because it's not, it's not working for us. Get you a job, save your money. I think the best thing.
So was that like a turning point for you?
Nah. I was still in the streets at the day. That's why my mama sent me to Seattle.
Okay.
Because shortly after that.
So who was in Seattle that you?
Out of Seattle.
Okay.
My mom's sister, she was there.
Okay. But that still ultimately helped you a lot.
It helped me because now, even though I didn't want to go, but she like, no. I guess they sat down, they had a conversation amongst themselves, and like, we gotta get him out of there. He ain't in school, he ain't doing nothing, running the street with these kids, being mischievous, just doing things, And
now we're getting a couple details.
Yeah.
I'm painting the picture here.
so,
okay?
shortly after recovering, running the streets, my mom like, look, you finna get up out of here. You finna go to Seattle to try to at least finish school, which I didn't do. Because then I get there, and then, like I say, if you don't change your mind, you're still gonna find That's trouble.
Yep.
No matter where you go. And not saying I got into trouble in Seattle, but if I think about the people I was like, well, they were still on the same stuff I was dealing with in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
You know, because we were just young. There's just things I felt like young people were doing, not understanding the true dangers or just, you know,
Consequences that might come.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I love Seattle. Seattle is cool. Like I said, Seattle definitely gave me a different, you know, vision or perspective on life.
Yeah.
You know, but I end up moving back. And once I moved back to Fort Wayne, that's when I realized this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? It took me to get away from it, to come back to it, to be like, this ain't it, bro. This is not it. I can't, this is.
And that's kind of how Atlanta became a destination.
That's how I went. But I didn't immediately leave, you know, and I didn't immediately leave Fort Wayne. I stayed here and continued to, you know, do the things I was doing. Linked up with some of my friends, and you know, we got these, like I said, these old boy ambitions. You know, I had a little crew, it was 4 of us. You know, we all, you know, sat back, chilled, and had this plan of how we finna be rich, or how we finna be the next big time people. And honestly, that's where Vito came from.
Oh, so that was the nickname.
That was the nickname at the time of us, you know, choosing we finna make these certain plays, certain routes in life, and you know, that's where that first sparked.
So y'all 4 was coming down here to take over.
No. We was planning on just doing this in Fort Wayne. I haven't left yet.
Okay.
So I'm in Fort Wayne, and a bad relationship is kind of what made me like, I gotta get positive, man. You know, I don't want to see these. You know, I'm just, you know, I want something different. And I had a cousin. He had just got out of prison. He lived down here. That's the one cousin I said. There's only 3 of us. You know, I got an uncle, but he was way older than us. But in our little group, there's my brother and my cousin Daniel. So my cousin Daniel lived down here. And when he got out, he was like, "Cuz, you should come here." I'm so mad, man. Let's kick it, you know. We was actually the same age.
Okay.
We was born in the same years, but he might be like 6 months older than me. So we grew up kind of like brothers, you know what I mean? And he moved down here when he was 10 years old. So he was down here for a long time. Remember my auntie that lived in Seattle, she actually lived here first. And, you know, so we're kind of like a trail.
Gotcha.
My one auntie moved here from my other auntie, which is my cousin's mom, and they've been down here since the 80s.
Gotcha.
So that's why I could come down in the summertime when I was younger. I catch the Greyhound. You know, that was 21 hours to go down here. But I'm 14, 15 years old, you know, just trying to, you know, get away from where I was from, see a little something different.
Okay, so now we got these 4 guys. Y'all trying to do y'all thing. And like, how did you go from y'all trying to do y'all's thing to, okay, maybe I should go to Atlanta?
Like I say, it was nothing ever planned. We was just, we were still doing our but we still had different groups of friends. So even though we come together, we still had outside, you know, because I was younger than everybody. So I had the group of friends I grew up on my mother's side of town. These 4 guys was pretty much on the side of town that my grandmother lived on. So this was them friends. So it's kind of like we did when we come together to, I guess, make our plays or do what we do. But we was like, this is where we meet up at. We meet up at this one spot. We all, you know, like I said, just good buddies and doing what I do. So I still had a different group of friends outside of them that I hung with. They had their own groups because not all of my friends were their friends. You see what I'm saying? So we was all close because these were guys I grew up around my grandmother's side of town, but then I also had a side of friends so that when I lived with my mom, I was telling you, I should go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, my cousin kind of, come down to Georgia. But then a lot of things were going on in Indiana. It's like I felt the pressure. Like, look, if you don't do something, like get out of town, make a change, something real bad is about to happen. Like I felt it. Like I felt the tension. I felt things getting real tight. I'm having more altercations with people. Like a lot of things are starting to like boil.
Yeah.
A lot of deaths were happening around, friends and situations, and it was just like, man. Then, like I said, I had my first little bad breakup. I'm like, man, let me get up out of here. I want to see something different, do something different. But long story short.
So in a way that trash female saved your life.
We can call her trash because
that's the same female.
she's still at the house. She's still at the house. We just, it took time, but we came back here. But at the time,
went back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Doris, he apologized.
I didn't know.
But see, it was that we just, like I said, it was just a breakup, man. And at the time, I gotta get out of here. But so when I got down here, I'm still having that same mentality.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am running Atlanta streets, man. Like, I'm going out every weekend. The little bit of money that I saved, I done burnt through it. My cousin, we having these, like I said, we's trying to hustle. The way they did things down here was so different than Fort Wayne. These folks really sat in hotels. Like, bro, this is literally, when they say trap, y'all are sitting in a trap. At least we had streets and alleys and things we can cut through to get away. Y'all literally sitting in a one-way in, one-way out situation. I'm like, y'all tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't like the whole setup for how they was operating. I'm like,
because what happens is,
man, they come, they already know. Y'all not sitting in a hotel room like, y'all bugging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was just my understanding. Like I said, coming from Fort Wayne, but I still dibbled and dab. But I started working regular jobs and doing my due. And how I started cutting hair in Atlanta, it was like one of my buddies that I knew when I first got down here. It was Friday night. Everybody trying to go out, and he mentioned, man, I need a haircut. So I offered my services. Like, man, I'll cut you up. He's like, bro, you could not cut no hair. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm actually good. All right, then, cut me up. White boy, too. White boy's Joe.
Crazy.
Yep. Me and Joe still cool to this day. White boy is good. So, I actually cut Joe hair upstairs, because they live upstairs above my auntie. They live in these little condos or whatever. So end up going upstairs, cutting Joe hair. Then Joe's roommate, dude named Dark, seen what how I cut Joe hair. Now, hey, can you get me next? Let's go. So I cut Joe up, cut Dark up. Now this is becoming
a regular thing.
Every weekend thing. And then not only him, but then somebody else see it, So I end up, getting a job working at American Honda. And this is years later. Like, this is me going through multiple different temporaries, jobs.
Yeah.
I'm just navigating. Then got kicked out of my auntie house because she just tired of being my cousin. So I'm hooking up with any female that I think was I'm just going through the motions, man.
Yeah.
Finding my way in Atlanta, man. Just trying to find it. Some girls are cute, some of them like. As long as they give me
somewhere to sleep.
Somewhere to sleep and a nice hot meal, we good. So as I'm cutting hair, through the little whatever, I still had plans of, okay, let me get me a good job, let me get some benefits, let me get 401. I had that still that mentality. I gotta get something that's gonna sustain, because at this particular time I started to kind of reeled back from that street life stuff. I'm just doing certain things. I don't like the way they move down here, so eventually I started to step away from it, you know. And never got caught up in it, never got jammed up in it, never did no time, never just, you know. And then to watch other people around you get caught up and doing. So it's like, I learned from other people's mistakes, you know. Like, you know what, bro? I see how he looking when you go visit him in jail. I see that, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm cool. And I got locked up one time, but I wasn't there long enough. But just that one time was good enough for me. Shit, I'm like, man, I don't like this. I like being free. You know what I'm saying? I like women. I like, you know, cleanliness, you know? So, long story short, I was working at American Honda. And everywhere I went to, it was always like one of those conversations of getting a haircut. When we talk about getting a haircut, I always offer my service. And once I cut their hair,
it's on.
It's on. So I cut this one guy, his name was Troy. I cut Troy here when I was working at American Honda. This had to be 2003. You know what I'm saying?
What was you doing at American Honda?
Receiving. I'm receiving parts. So I'm working in the receiving area. And conversation again about, you know, he need a haircut. And I'm like, okay, cool. And cut his hair. He goes back to work the next day. And another guy from the job, like, hey man, cut your hair. And he's like, buddy, I'm receiving. So, next thing you know, hey, can you come out here when we get out of work? I sure can. So, I cut his hair. So now everybody in the warehouse is calling on me to get my haircut. So I still had no idea of I'm gonna be a barber. But
it's just a little side hustle.
Just a little side hustle. It's just something to do. And American Honda, they used to have this temporary, you know, service and do certain things. And one time they messed up my check, and it wasn't because of nothing I done. But it was something they didn't do right. But they were still trying to not pay me. And that's the first no-no was messing with me. Messing with my money. So I'm now walking around with attitude. You know, I'm pissed off, I'm mad, y'all mess with my money, y'all not try to use my bread. I work hard, you know, just try to work hard and cut hair and get on time. I do the same thing no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just that type of dude. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
If I ain't gonna do it, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't give it my all, I'm not gonna do it. I promise you I won't. I'm gonna say, nah, I'm cool. So long story short, I started realizing with all the clients or the people that I was cutting from work, from the neighborhood, from places where I met people just through life, I'm like, shit, I done made more money in 2 days than I did all week working for this company. So that's when the light bulb goes off. Like, man, so you give it 2 days, just imagine we give it 6 days, 5 days, you know? So one day I was at work, I looked at them people parts, set them down, and I walked out. That was the last they seen the old Brandon Carter. They called me and said, hey, Mr. Carter, we noticed you haven't came back. You left and didn't come back. I said, yeah, and I won't be coming back. Thank y'all, but no thank you. I'm out of here. So that was the journey. You know, I started cutting at my house. Well, wherever I was staying. I actually lived in a hotel for a while. Like, I have so many different steps to me being here. Like, sleeping in my car a few times, not having no money. You know what I'm saying? All the things where I knew, you know, it took some going through to be like, nah, I can't do that no more. You know, I would work and cut hair and make $300-400 in one day and go to the club and hang out and wake up, I got some balled up ones and some change on the dresser. You know what I'm saying? So this is happening over because I'm just in this life. I'm making money, but I ain't saving nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I left Honda. Started cutting, you know, wherever I can cut at the people's house. Because eventually I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start mobile cutting. I went and got some business cards, and now I'm going to people's house for $25 a haircut. Because I didn't have no barber shop. To be honest with you, I didn't have no license. You know what I'm saying? No barber license. I'm just literally just making my way through Atlanta, making my way through Georgia. So I'm doing mobile calls, and I'm so far away from $25 a hair on mobile call now. But then also, I had to eventually go back to school, get my barber license. So all of it was just, you know.
You had to get the GED to get the license?
Yeah, you can't, you know, you can't pass. I can go to school and get not the license, but I can get the hours. But in order for me to take that test, I gotta show a diploma.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that was hindering me for a long time. It's like, man, so now I gotta go back and do something that I was trying to get away from doing for the longest. I felt like it wasn't no need, but need or no need, certain things you cannot go through doors without.
Yeah.
You know, so now I gotta take the time, get a diploma, get my license, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm starting to develop the understanding of shortcuts. There ain't no shortcuts, bro. You literally have to go through what you have to go. You gotta sometimes you gotta just go through it. You gotta, and not only when you do shortcuts, you miss things.
Yeah.
You don't learn certain things. So now I just, you know, got the diploma, got the license, and I promise you, man, it's like so many things started to fall in place after doing it. You know what I mean?
Really committed.
Start committing.
Yeah.
So I used to run from the state board. I remember somebody had to do it in the chair, man, both ran up back door. Come on, let's go. They come, the state board will come and find you and everything. They come in and check. It's just like a food inspector, health inspector. They'll come in and make sure everything is right. So
At the barber
at
shop?
the barber shop, bro. I tell you, this a long time ago.
And they used to check everybody's license?
Yeah. If you don't, you get a fine and all that. But once again, then you pull Vito, the name Vito into. So if I gotta run out and say, who is that? Oh, that's Vito. You don't know my government. So that's when I really pushed the Vito because I was legit.
Right.
So
Okay.
Nobody here, y'all don't know me, I'm from Indiana.
What up, Costo? What up, man?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
eventually now, I ain't gotta run.
Right.
I'm waiting. It's like getting pulled over. When you
Yeah.
get pulled over with no license, now you finna get
Right. You remember being dirty, so you feel like you gotta run, but wait, I'm good now.
Throw my license at him.
Yeah, I'm good now.
You know why I pulled you over? It don't matter. Because I'm legit.
I'm
You know,
legit now.
It's legit now.
Yeah.
And that's what started to happen. It's like, I started to legitimize myself. You know what I mean? Like anything I touch. Now it's like, you know, you're thinking about, okay, you're starting to correct yourself in this area. Now you gotta correct yourself in a financial area. You know what I'm saying? Everything is correction. You know, okay, I lived this way for a long time. And the last point where I knew I could save some money is one night after the club. Man, sometimes you don't know how much you spend. You just spend it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, they gave me that tab. And that tab took every dollar I had in my pocket. Now mind you, I ain't had no money underneath my mattress. I ain't had no money in no bank account. Everything I had was in my pocket. I was left with some change, bro, and I was hungry in them hugs. Man, I went home, I dug in between the couch, the seats of my car, found enough change to give me a $1/4. McDonald's was open like 3 o'clock in the morning on Robert Road.
That had to be the best $1/4.
Oh my goodness. I savored that. That thing was so flavorful. I got that motherfucker Ruth Chris. And that burger was good. But that's when I woke up the next morning. It's like, no,
I can't do this like
I can't do this. You too player. Like I gotta look at myself like, bro, come on. You gotta get yourself in whatever light you wanna see yourself in. You're better than this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do this, bro. You gotta be better. So that's when I started to make sure every time I got paid, every day I put a certain amount of money away. You know what I'm saying? Now one thing I did do though, Even when I was broke, I paid my bills.
Yeah.
My rent, everything always used to be paid. But if I ever hit a rock in the road and caught a flat tire or did something else, I didn't never have, the means to take care of stuff.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I always made a way. But that's why I talk to you and all type of other people. It's like that come to my chair, man. To be financially, I would say, you try to get as close as financially free as possible. You always gotta, as long as you keep living, anything can happen, but you try to prepare yourself as best as possible for the
learning how to stay ready so y'all gotta get ready.
Yeah, always, man, because it's like, then you realize, okay, you can be financially straight, but now if your health ain't right, that don't not like no, even that. Eventually, you ain't got enough money to carry yourself through that. So you try your best now to, man, I gotta start working out. I gotta start drinking so much. I gotta start doing X, Y, Z because your health is like I said, the most important thing. Without that, everything will fall to the side.
Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do a little shout out. How much weight you done lost?
I lost 50 pounds.
50 pounds?
50.
Since when?
Last time I went to the doctor before I went to this last time was the beginning of this year.
This year? 50 pounds?
February.
February.
I went to the doctor and they was like, oh, you 228. I was like, damn, I ain't never, weighed that. But, it was what it was. But I chose to stop drinking. Not before, everybody would ask you, why? What happened? Nothing happened. Just like all the other decisions in life, at some point in time, you realize, man, I done did this for so long. What would life be without it? What decisions would I make different not being under the influence? Mm-hmm. Being under the influence, you make some of the worst mistakes or the things that I gotta be like,
or spend a whole lot of money.
Mm-hmm. It's because of drinking.
Yeah.
Was I drunk? No, the doctor would say I was. Because I'm just a
the cop would say I was.
Yeah, the cop would say I was drunk. Everything, it would just be, but at the end of the day, it was like, I just socially like to, to drink and have a good time. But that's just like I said, once again, the environment.
Yeah.
When you're in an environment where everything starts with a drink, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go over into the party, okay? Let's go get some liquor first. Hey, let's go over here, all right? What we drinking on? You know what I'm saying? It's a social thing. We're gonna go watch football on Sunday, okay? Shots. You know what I'm saying? We go to, that's just how we, did what we do. But that also led to being overweight. Because when I get done, now I'm gonna eat a lot of bullshit and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, bro, I gotta tighten up. So I started working out, running. First I was, just walking. Now I'll be running and jogging. So I went to the doctor that Monday before Thanksgiving. And when they gotta check the blood pressure, get you on the scale. I always said, oh yeah, 185. Shit, like, not realizing that I lost one because I haven't weighed myself since. And other people would say it to me, hey man, you weigh yourself? I'm like, nah, I don't do that. I just do what I do.
Yeah.
A lot of times I can trick you mentally. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna do whatever you do. And now that I realize I didn't lost that much, it really didn't take a lot. You know what I'm saying? It just took
change the habit.
Change the habit.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people end up being in a position that they are in life is because their choices and the habits that they choose not to change.
Yeah, not to change.
Not to change. Now, I ain't gonna lie, not drinking though has like lessened the company I have.
Of course.
Because now I'm not doing the things that everybody around me likes to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm not the guy that they used to know because I'm the turn up. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, no, I'm good, y'all go ahead. But man, I don't drink as much as we ain't drinking. Maybe I'm doing you a good thing too. You know what I'm saying? But everything changed. So I got to be comfortable with it. I have to be okay with it.
Right, but it is uncomfortable at first, but something that is important that you just said. You might shine a light on somebody else that now they feel like, damn, now I gotta, maybe I need to do this too. You don't even know, like, the people that you made an impression on.
Yeah. It's been times where, because I've done this before, not to quite quit the drinking, but I had gained weight and literally lost. That people was like, man, hey, when I saw you did what you did, it made me want to do the same thing. And I'm like, man, so, but I didn't stay on it, you know. I slipped up, like a lot of times we doing life. Went back to drinking, went back to bad habits, put the weight back on, you know. But now it's just like, nah, I'm done. And
seeing the fruits of your commitment.
yeah. And now I'm about to turn it up. So now I lost that. When I hit the gym, and these are just my own personal goals. You know, just have nothing to do with anybody else. It's
just continuing to grow for yourself.
And if you know, I lose friends amongst that, you know, journey, then I do. You know.
The other thing about it though that I started to realize with what you're saying about changing your habits, you'll start to meet people that help you be your best from you doing the right things instead of some of the wrong things for yourself.
Sure. But that's how it happens, because it's like, okay, if you drink, you hang with people at the bar. You work out, you meet people at the gym. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just your circle. But I'm so used to having those people in my life because now, you know, but then when you start doing different things, you end up kind of, I ain't gonna say, sometimes you lose some people.
Yeah.
Because they are not willing to change.
Yeah.
They do, so it's like, well, let me not.
But you don't even realize like the people that you have that you call friends sometimes. That's really just one dimension.
Yeah. But it's like this too. It's like hanging with somebody that every time you go out, you gotta buy their drinks because they're never, you know what I'm saying. So once I say no, I'm not buying it, you gonna stop hanging around me too anyway.
Yeah.
You hung around me because I would cover things, but it's like, let me hang around somebody that's at least at my level or higher. So I don't feel like I always have to be the one carrying the friendship, you know what I'm saying, or doing what I do. So it's all about leveling, you know what I'm saying. Not saying I'm better than, you know, anybody. I don't even focus on what nobody else got going on. I just focus on what I have to do for self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if it offends you, if it hurts your feelings, or make you not want to be around me, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta learn to be, you know, because sometimes it gets lonely, bro. Sometimes we look around and it's like, man, them with my buddies, we had a good time doing that, but at what cost? You know what I mean? It's a cost to continue to do certain things. And you ain't gotta stop doing it. No, I had to stop doing it completely. You see what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I wanted to stop it completely.
Because you knew you would just slip back.
I slip back eventually. Because every time you turn around, it's a get together. And guess what we're doing? We're drinking it all of it. So, yeah. Well, you're not disciplined enough? Look, bro, I'm very disciplined. If you look at my life, see how I operate. You know, but sometimes when you know you, you know you. And you know you better than anybody.
Help as well.
Yeah.
That misery sometimes loves company.
Oh, yeah, definitely love it. You know what I mean?
And then he also said, you know, the cost ain't always money for the habits that you're doing.
Yeah. Bro, you know how much money I save?
Just
all
from
my money
not
I can blow.
Man, yeah.
Woo. Bro, my account has, woo. Man, boy.
Hey.
I tell you. It
So,
is definitely.
Your bank love you a whole lot more now, huh?
Man, a whole lot.
Would you like to upgrade your account? We can actually give you
man.
a little bit better interest rate now.
They like, shoot, we had an extra so many thousands to your credit card now. Like, yeah, leave. But I ain't gonna lie though, man, like, life is so much better when you have discipline. You know what I'm saying? We understand tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I live like, I work for the day, I plan for tomorrow, and what happened yesterday is over. I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about what happened yesterday.
But I know I can be better
But
tomorrow.
I can be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what I might have fell short yesterday, I'm gonna work on bettering today. So in case God bless me with another day, I'm getting better. You know what I mean? I'm getting better. I'm not gonna be like, well, shoot, tomorrow's no problem. I'm finna blow everything today. Damn, so you wake up tomorrow, what you got? Nothing? I'm gonna worry about that tomorrow. No.
Yeah, that YOLO was
That was a part of your, you know, not at the time they started calling that. I was doing that earlier. But it's just like, man, to really just, and then like I say, to be where I'm at in life, like I said, so many people wait, you know what I'm saying, but that's them, like what's for them is for them.
yeah.
But I'm proud and happy to be the man that I am today. You know what I mean? And to be able to be a part of your journey too, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I done seen you go from enough about me to talk about you.
Man,
I done watched you.
Because I definitely was going to bring it up. But
yeah, to talk about where you come from, man, and seeing this little high school kid and, you know, middle school kid, and, you know, then you know, get to go into your journeys to car dealerships, like so many different things that you were doing. And, you know, to
thought I knew
come into your apartment, cutting your hair, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Off of Marietta,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And to be cutting your hair now in your home.
Home.
Not the rental, your home. With your wife, with your baby, like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no kids, you a grown man now.
It's wild.
You know what I'm saying? Doing grown man things. So, you know, to watch that is definitely, you know, an honor to be a part of still.
Well, it's not even just an honor because, you know, I try to, I think I may have downplayed it up to this point, but a big reason why you can even say all of that right now, as you started to be better and kind of tell me a lot of different things, you know, even as an adult, you kind of have like a village of people that mentor, that are older than you, that have gone through different things to be able to tell you what needs to be done and what, you know, you shouldn't be doing. And I definitely can say that I have been blessed for you to be able to share a lot of different things. I literally watch your growth just like you watch mine, even from, you know, you being in your 30s, doing different things that you felt like was important at the time compared to what you just talked about now. You know, the things the blessings that you talk about now, it's on a totally different level, financially, morally, spiritually, than what it was before. So it gave me a lot of chance to basically go from that. So, and what's most recent? About, let's say 4 or 5 years ago, with us having, you know, the relationship that we had already, I'm getting to the point where I really don't want to share everything that I'm going through right now in this time. I had asked for some help from a few people that I felt like I could trust, and you gotta take ownership of what you've done for your own life. So I can't be mad at the people that didn't help me because I put myself in the situation. But I definitely got to a point where I'm getting these eviction notices, I'm getting these child support notices, I'm getting all this stuff that's basically telling me like you about to get kicked out. After you get kicked out, you going straight to jail. And it's getting real for what I'm trying to do. It's like I was never not trying to figure it out, but the opportunity wasn't there at the time for me, I felt like. So I'm just doing everything that I can. So when I kind of go into this, I don't know what made me think about it, but I'm finally just like, yo, I'm doing Uber now. It's going a little slow. I need money now. I can make as much as I can with Uber, but to catch up on some of this stuff and get right the way I need to, I need money now. And I can't really become, I feel like I've exhausted the help that I've gotten from others. So at this point, I don't know what made it pop in my head to ask you about everything that was going on, but I remember from knowing how well you have been doing, I felt like maybe I could get you to believe that if you help me, I can definitely make sure that I got you from here on out, and that I can pay the money back if I can, put the right time stamp on it based on how Uber was going. Right. So, as crazy as it is, to get out of my situation, I started asking you for thousands of dollars. And I know the type of position you were in terms of us having a good, healthy relationship. You did not want to mess that up with this type of money that we're talking about. It's not a couple hundred you can forgive. This is something that it's enough money to mess up a relationship. So I felt like I really had no other options.
It was ski mask money.
Ski mask money?
Yeah, I was coming for you. I was gonna go back to the old me to get it back. No, I wasn't gonna do that. But it's one of those things that a lot of people do things for a lot of work, for a lot less.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing of it is, at that time, man, it's like, but I trusted you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like, beefing. I know that you genuinely was trying to correct some things.
Yeah.
So, but not everybody have that type of, they have in their head that they have the intentions to give it back. But once they get it, they don't know how to let it go. It's like people when they pay bills, it's like, I got the money, but instead of paying the whole bill, let me put a piece in.
Yeah.
You're always trying to find something to hold on, but I'm like, nah.
Because you just got, and I know exactly what it is because I felt it. Yeah. Because first, when I first asked, what was your thought process on that?
I didn't feel like, man, no. I just felt like, me and you have built a relationship over the years.
Yeah.
And first of all, you never asked before. You got some people off the first time meeting you want something from you.
Right, because they know
Can
you
I
got
hold
something.
this? Can I get to? Yeah, they just always got their hands out. But for me, I just had to think about it because of the possibility of the relationship being messed up, or now I gotta but I know your background too. I know what kind of background you come from. I know how your mother raised you. I had seen a lot of things, so I didn't feel like he's gonna run off at the bat. You know what I'm saying? So I was comfortable. So for you to come and ask me, sometimes certain things is an honor. Meaning that for him to feel comfortable enough, because I know what type of man you are, for you to feel comfortable enough to come and ask me, B really needs what he needs right now. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I just want to, I'm asking just to ask and see if I can get over on somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, first of all, I know it took a lot for you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because real men a lot of times is prideful for asking for anything.
Yeah,
I've never known you to be that type of person. So for you to come to me, it's kind of honorable that you felt comfortable enough out of all people to come to me. You know what I'm saying? We done built a relationship that was strong enough that you like, man, I gotta put my pride to the side. You know what I'm saying? Now I know that you could probably ask anybody else, but it's like, you know what? I don't want nobody to know this.
Yeah.
But I feel comfortable enough to ask this man because we done built this type of relationship.
Yeah.
So I never thought not once that B's not gonna take care of me. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, hey, this is one of those situations where I knew I could help. And I wanted to help. You know what I'm saying? But I still put certain stipulations and guidelines because I need you to be responsible. Not saying that you wasn't, but I have to put this on you because I still feel like this right here still gives you accountability, and it allows you to become stronger. You know what I'm saying? By, handling it the way you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And down the line, you know what I'm saying? D will turn around and do the same thing for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of blessings that we get, and they're like, oh, you gotta pay me that. Nah, pass it forward.
Yeah.
To somebody else when they need you. But you can't help everybody. That's the thing. But a lot of times you help everybody, but then, it hurts you. So sometimes, like I said, that's just the intuition that I had inside of me that said, I didn't feel no certain way. Some people come, I'll be like, hey, I ain't messing with him, but no, I'm like, be coming I got you.
So yeah, so I know initially I think the amount was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I think as you thought of the character that I had, you felt a little bit more comfortable with doing it.
Yeah.
So this is as real as, we writing up multiple contracts and agreements to be able to take the court if need be to make sure that you get what you're supposed to have. And we talking about serious money, like $2,500, $3,500 at a time that I need to put a little interest on. And I remember like being as tired as possible, knowing I had to hit these certain amounts so that I could pay you on time. So, you get to a point where I'm doing the Uber thing. I know, like, I think the cutoff was like 3 a.m. for the little bonuses that they had. And I only had a certain amount of hours to hit a certain amount of rides that I had to do to make sure I could pay you. Regardless of being up all day already from trying to make sure that I can get it. So
I don't mean to interrupt you though, but this is the same dude that was before when we first started. I ain't switch him out with a stunt double. See this transformation, right? This is really the same dude. this ain't a stunt double that they put in there. Yeah. But let me go ahead, go back. I'm just letting know you getting super fresh over here.
Man. Alright, so.
What are you saying? No enhancements? No enhancements, boy? What are you talking about, man? I've been doing it. Like I said, this is Indiana, man.
Man, y'all see the bag, man. Vito. Y'all come to Atlanta, I got you. On the cut side, it's easy.
But going back to what we said, me is like I had a guy, and this was just a lesson. He said, bro, I don't care if it's your mama. When you doing business, you always have paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
You always have a trail that cover yourself. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. And if a person has a problem with signing those papers,
Then that's already a red
it's
flag.
red flag. They have no intentions of paying
giving
you
it
back.
exactly.
So I'ma stand on it. And
Yeah.
if you want this money, this is what you're about to do. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's going to take because I need to cover me. I'm at a bank. You see what I'm saying? I'm at the bank. Go to the bank. But since you know, ain't got the means to go to the bank and I'm trying to help, I need you to sign this. You know, you got any collateral? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, all of this a lot of time is business. Everybody want to try to make it personal
No.
when it comes down to what they need. You know what I'm saying? Because how many times you can get somebody $50 and they was pleading with you.
How much
You know,
I
how
need
much I
this.
appreciate you, never know.
Man.
Now I need it back. It's like, man, you tripping over that? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Do you know how long I worked hard for that?
We had an agreement, sir.
You have an agreement. You know what I'm saying? I done had buddies, like closer friends, like truly like people that I grew up with, that I gave money to, and you know what I'm saying? You supposed to be my brother. You supposed to be X, Y, and Z. Like no, you not him. You're not gonna take them. Them the ones sometimes that get you the most. But at the same time, you live in your life. You know what I mean? Part of the process.
100%.
Yeah, but you know the another thing that was good. I was glad I was in a position to help you. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people never put themselves in a position to help no one, not even themselves. You know what I'm saying? It feels good that every time a person asks me, I actually can say yes. Say no a lot of times, but I can say yes because I didn't set myself up to a position to help. But if I continue to help, eventually, I ain't gonna have enough for me.
Right.
So a lot of times you have to say no. Because sometimes certain people have to go through what they need to go through to understand, you know, what it is to do better for yourself. You know? So because if you always come to their aid, now they feel like, shoot, that's okay. As soon as I trip, I know, oh, got me. My friend got me. He'll take care of it. You never learning the lesson of what you need to learn so you can be a blessing or help to somebody else.
Exactly.
You don't want to always be the one somebody got to help. At one point in time, you going to be the person that actually helps someone else.
My aunt was just talking about that and a couple episodes ago, how it literally took my grandmother passing for her to know she don't have that that backup plan anymore, to understand how much she had to really think for herself. But yeah, I definitely wanted to make sure that was a prevalent subject. We got to pretty much the end point. You was pretty much the very last person outside of blood that believed in me at that point. And just like you said, when you got nothing, everybody that's really not for you is gone. So at a certain point where I thought I had something, lost it all, going through this, and literally you're the last one to help me, and then continuing to help me, because this is an ongoing situation. So we talking about $2,000 here, $3,000 there, another 2, 3, 4, like I don't even know how much money went back and forth, because I'm at this point I'm not even paying everything off because of how much I have, because of how much of in the hole I was, but I was just paying as much as I could to keep them off me until I was able to pay the whole thing.
So I remember that time you called me up, right? And you was like, hey, I got a buddy. He's in a situation where he needs X, Y, and Z. And I said, I'm only one person I know I could probably call that. We probably get you out, but you gotta, this is how he operates.
Right. Yeah.
And I told you, I said, look at B. That's your buddy.
Right.
So if you trust him, you trust him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come to me, this is not me doing a favor for him, it's me doing a favor for you.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of what he don't do to return it back to you, you still, you know, it ain't on him, it's on you.
Yeah.
So if you trust him, then let that be. But this is between me and you. So by you coming to me, that's you asking me, not him. I don't know you.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. You like, okay, but that once again, you and how I know you operate, you want to help a friend too. You see what I'm saying? But luckily it worked out. He took care of you. You took care of me. Now we back. You know, we doing what we do. You know, so I just like the fact that, you know, I know you got a good heart, man. I know you actually want to see people win. Matter of fact, I just had this conversation with the dude you sent me to get his haircut.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I remember you the dude that you game with, and you came here, and I remember the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But my conversation about you was like, look, man, B is a good dude. B is the type of friend you want to have in your corner. I said, because, you know what I'm saying, he's vouching for you to come down here, do something different, get a gig at, you know what I'm saying, they trying to help. I was like, so, you know, make sure you know, do what you're supposed to do, because he's actually, you know, he's a great guy. You know, but that's what we do, man. And that's why, like I said, it's a blessing to have, you know, people that move a certain way and be a certain, you know, caliber of a person, like I said. I ain't got nothing but great things to say about you, man. You know, and blessings to your journey on what you do, the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Everything. I just want to see if I can win. And right now, this haircut got you winning. Will King Crawford.
Man.
Hold on. You know what? I gotta finish you off with the. Can't go without.
That alcohol special. Don't judge me for my faces.
You might have got lucky, man, because I think that alcohol last next year. Nope. Man, you got lucky, B. I dropped it on the floor, so I ain't got nothing to give you the alcohol. So,
We'll go straight upstairs.
straight upstairs, and all that you do. Or give me a paper towel. Give me something I can spray it and put it on.
Okay, yeah. But no, that was definitely an important part of why I'm here today that I wanted to talk about. I'll be completely honest, man. Sometimes when I think about the help that you gave me, it like with full vulnerability, to not be blood and to really like believe in me about that type of money when you know I didn't have a job for real, like, thinking about how blessed I am now is definitely something that'll bring somebody to tears. So that's one of the big parts of helping me get out of this situation that I was in, that a lot of people didn't really know, that I was getting a lot of that money to help push me through from you. And just had to do what I could to pay it back. But I mean, Uber ain't paying $3,000-$4,000, but I had to sit in that car until it said $3,000-$4,000 to give it back.
See, but that right there, it just says who you are. You know what I mean? But like you say, accountability, bro. People gotta take accountability, and they gotta understand 90% of why. Let's just look. 90% of why people are in the position that they're in is because of them. You know what I mean? And the choices you made. You could have chose to give up. You know what I mean? I'm too much into this. But you was like, nah, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do everything it takes for me to get this, get this right. And now look at you. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, once you get straight, it's easier to keep yourself straight because you did the right things to, you know what I'm saying? To get yourself in position. That right there is just, you know, you lifting weights. You know what I'm saying? You have to tear down the muscle. You just tearing yourself down to build yourself back up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like to tear down. A lot of people don't like to get the weights. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do something, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go through something. Everything will be easy. But once you got through it, it builds more character. It builds, discipline. And it shows you something.
For sure.
Now, like I say, now you look at life, and like I said, it's not over. You're still young. Still young for, I'm still young. So, you never know tomorrow, but we continue to do the right things. I feel like life would be a whole lot better. Just doing the right things.
Man, literally to grow from talking to you about, little females to like the type of conversations that we have now.
Yeah.
With how to save, you put me on to the high yield accounts. I didn't even know really about how to put that together to, help my money work a little harder for itself. With, all these type of different conversations that we have now that 3-4 years ago was nowhere near possible is just crazy with the type of time that we done had. So it like you said, it all correlates to a bigger picture of making sure that we can just help other people. And that's definitely the type of season that I'm trying to be in now, to where, you brought Bryce in and gave him the cut to get started on the job here. And, we were able to give him a place to stay until he can get everything going on his feet, start getting consistent checks, and just everything in between on the story that this is and that the story it continues to be, man. I just, on here, I just want to say thank you, man.
Thank you, my brother. First love, it's always a pleasure, man.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
man, especially for this cut. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, we will wrap it up with that. Phone about to die anyway. But W Vito the barber, that's the man with the plan. Y'all come to Atlanta.